So what I was going to say about Butler is look at this shit. Because this is crazy accusation, okay? This is Tucker Carlson going with this Mario whatever Nawfal guy, all right? And watch this.
I know that about Butler. I know that Trump shut down the investigation into Butler. That is a fact. Dan Bongino told me that when he worked at the FBI. And Dan Bongino himself was terrified when I spoke to him in December. It's such a long, boring story, but basically I came into possession, I beg your pardon, accidentally came into possession of a lot of the social media posts that we were told didn't exist, that were posted by Thomas Crooks in the months and years before the shooting. And I was amazed that the FBI had lied about this. So I called 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀, and I later called Dan Bongino, and I says, what is this? I'm not attacking you. It was the previous FBI administration that did this. It was Chris Wray, but what is this? And Dan Bongino became hysterical with me on the phone. I've known Dan a long time, for many years, and always gotten along with him. Whatever his faults, nice guy, certainly very nice to me. I never had a problem with Dan, ever. And that problem began when I brought this information to his attention, and he became a different person. He was clearly terrified. I didn't get it at first, but he was hysterical.
Dude!
And ultimately, after a long series of text exchanges, which I still have, and phone conversations, he said, look, take it up with Trump. He's the one who shut down the investigation. And that was, I think, the first or second week of December. I think it was the beginning of the second week of December. I have it written down. But that was the moment, and I realized, oh, wow, there's no good explanation for shutting down an investigation into your own attempted murder. Like, this is not what we've been told.
Think about this claim. Okay, now Tucker Carlson, let's be realistic. He's a fucking liar. Okay, he lied to the tune of $787 million fine for Fox News and got let go. So is he unreliable? Absolutely. He's claiming Dan Bongino was hysterical, became a different person, started freaking out about this, but Tucker said, I saved the text messages. So he's claiming he has text message receipts of him and Dan Bongino going back and forth about this, where Bongino is saying, take it up with Trump because Trump shut down the investigation into Butler. Okay? Now, dragging Bongino into the lie, if it is a lie, seems pretty silly. Like, why would he do that? If it's a lie and Bongino has texts that can disprove this, he has set himself up to be easily shut down and disproven. So that is a little strange, guys, that he would bring Bongino into it and center it around him. Okay, now Bongino did freak out and bail from the job, and he made an excuse about his wife, and everyone thought it was Epstein related. Maybe it's more than just Epstein related. Maybe some of this is why Bongino decided to get the fuck out, because he realized, holy shit, he is working for, Richard Nixon times 50, right? I don't know. That's a crazy claim, though, guys. Okay, that is one of the craziest claims. Now, I would be lying if I didn't say that most people think Trump made up that assassination, right? Most people think, we don't know how it was set up or whatever, but most people think, dude, that shit was fake as shit. No medical records, never got to see the wound, fucking ear cotex, the fact that they let him stand up and he does the fight shit. They had the flag up there with the photo op. Everything about that shit just felt phony as fuck, dude. Okay? Same with the White House correspondent shit. Felt phony as shit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? A person died. I know 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆𝗆 died, but dude, they didn't even spell his name right on the fireman's jacket at the Republican convention. And when you say a person was killed, you think if they were setting something up, they wouldn't have a problem killing a person in the crowd? I mean, how many people do you think they killed in Iran in the last 6 weeks? You think they have an issue killing people? How many people has ICE killed? Dude, ICE has killed more people than died at the Trump shooting. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, if they were going to stage something, they wouldn't give a fuck if a couple of people got clipped in the process. And again, I'm not saying that it means it was faked, okay? But I will say that, boy, they sure stopped talking about it real fast. And let me ask you this, guys. You know, have you looked at Trump when he's just walking around? Does he behave like a guy who's actually been shot at a couple times and had his life threatened? No. He's like, whatever, walking around in the UFC. This guy's walking around like he's got not a care in the world. I don't know, dude. People who get shot at a whole bunch of times usually get paranoid and they get real fucking careful about where they go. And this guy keeps, you know, supposedly he's been assassinated, attempted assassination like 4 times. And this guy is like walking around like, whatever, not a care in the world. He's having a big UFC party out in front of the White House. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about this, guys. But yeah, I certainly know that Trump doesn't care if people get killed. Okay? Trump does not. I mean, he said himself he could shoot somebody on Central Park, out in Central Park, and he wouldn't even go to jail, right? I mean, dude, think of how many people he's had, like, clipped when he was running a casino, you know? I don't think that guy has a problem. I mean, there's a pretty good chance he pushed Ivana down the stairs. So this is Dan Bongino. This is Dan Bongino talking about Tucker Carlson. I don't think Dan Bongino is less of a liar than Tucker Carlson is, because we know Tucker was involved in, you know, the Fox News lying about the election. But we know that Dan Bongino has no credibility left after getting into the FBI and dropping the ball with the Epstein files, which he made his entire career about the Epstein files. But let's see what he says here.
I don't have any, he doesn't realize, like, I have these texts too. I never do this, but if you're going to refer to texts alleging we committed a crime, I'm going to put it out there. But first, let's address his 2 points. He says that the president shut down the Butler investigation. Totally, completely, 100% made up. But we did a full interview with Brooke Singman from Fox, which, to all the people who, by the way, think Tucker's for real, if you think I'm doctoring any of this, please go look this article up yourself. Don't trust me, trust the evidence. Here it was, November 21st, even before Tucker says he spoke to me in December. Exclusive. FBI concludes Trump shooter crooks acted alone after unprecedented global investigation.
Now, again, though, Fox News lied to the tune of $787 million about the election. Okay, now, if Trump shut down the investigation into Thomas Crooks, wouldn't the FBI release some? They wouldn't release a statement saying, hey, guess what, guys? The president just shut down the investigation of his own assassination. No, if he shut it down, the FBI would be like, oh yeah, we are investigated. Unprecedented global investigation. Dude, what? Dude, what is up with my hair, bro? I need a haircut. Dude, look at my fucking hair, boss. What am I doing here with fucking... I have some Albert Einstein shit going on. Dude, there must be some electromagnetic impulses in my room. But what the fuck is an unprecedented global investigation, pray tell?
Now, he says the investigation was shut down. Yet here it is on the record in November. Again, the Tucker fans will apologize for him until the end of time because they just can't give up the Kool-Aid. Let me read this to you in case you're a Tucker fan who can't read. The case, that's the Crooks case he says was shut down, currently sits in a pending, inactive status. Wait, keep this up. Andy, does that say the case is closed? Andy's shaking his head. Jasmine, does that say that? It does not. No. It says the opposite. This is before Tucker claims he talked to me. But the official, this is one of the investigators, called the investigation one of the largest mobilizations of FBI resources in history that continued to this day. But keep this up, guys. Tucker just made a claim that he has texts that I told him President Trump shut down the investigation. So we lied to 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏 in November? If we get a credible lead, the FBI official said, we'll continue to investigate. I thought it was closed. The director has been very clear, that's 𝗙cie𝗶𝗏𝗏, about leaving no stone left unturned, and that is what we are committed to.
Yeah, just like that Epstein investigation that they've been really working overtime on, right? All those arrests they've made in the Epstein thing. Dude, he is such a clown.
See, ladies and gentlemen, that's information, but it's evidence. It's not information pollution. That is actual evidence right there that everything he's telling you is just made up.
Now, again, this is not any evidence. If we saw some internal documents from the FBI, an email from the director talking about this, that would be evidence. This is a screenshot of a fucking online article by 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏, who is a Fox News mouthpiece. She's essentially the Natalie Winters or Laura Loomer of like the Fox News Trump pipeline. Okay, 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is not, I mean, this is proof of nothing, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, this could very well be like Hindustan Times, right? It would have the same amount of credibility, right? Yeah, this is Barry Weiss's from taken direct from Barry Weiss's iPhone. Right, from the notepad on the shelf next to Barry Weiss's toilet, we have this official Fox News statement.
You may say, well, Dan, he claims he has texts of you saying other. Well, we'll get to that, too.
Oh, the texts
but it's kind of weird how I would say something, because I have dignity and I don't lie to people, that I would say something in a text that I wouldn't say publicly on the record. Someone would just put the text out, right? He also said I was terrified, which is so laughable. If you believe that, you know, I got a bridge in Martin County to sell you real cheap, maybe $1.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I was not terrified. I'm a hard guy. Dude, yeah. Dan, you quit. You ran, dude. You couldn't even handle being like the assistant to the assistant regional manager of the FBI, boss. Right? You gave up on the Epstein files. Dude, how does this guy have an audience? Like after promising them the Epstein files for years, he promises them the Epstein files for like years. And then he becomes a top official at the FBI and he comes out with like nothing, bro. Oh, yeah. It was like, oh, they had nothing to see here. Yeah. Oh, nothing to see here. Oh, yeah. Unalived. Oh, yeah. Trust me. I've seen it all. Dude, how? They're both liars. But, dude, I love, though, can I just say, I love that these guys are brawling, right? Because think about this, guys. These are like some of the bigwigs, right? These are like bigwigs of the MAGA movement that are now at each other's throat, okay? That's actually pretty cool, guys. It is. Dude, I think that's actually pretty cool. Because not too long ago, all of these guys were like, they were an unshakable force, dude. They were. Trump could come out and always say the right thing. Everybody got in line. Nobody resisted him. Nobody said peep. If somebody said anything, the others pressured them. Remember when Rittenhouse was like, I don't like Trump, right? But now, dude, now they're all brawling. Okay, Trump is like, he's getting booed. Everything he says is a hoax. His own people, as we find out, were meeting in the Situation Room without him, trying to be like, how are we going to fix this shit? Right? I mean, there's like, everybody's at each other's throats. He's turned on the vice president. He's now in Marco Rubio's corner. Right? He is just, they're all like all over the map. And they're all grasping and struggling and fucking each other over, trying to get a little bit of an inroad. with whatever the post-Trump power structure looks like, and Trump is firing everyone, I mean, it's all falling apart, guys. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.